Hello everybody and welcome to my graphics comparison between FS08 and FS22. So let's start off with Farming Simulator 2008, and I just want to make very clear this is a comparison between the graphics, not so much the features, because FS22 obviously is a much more evolved game. So we start off in the farmyard and you can see got some bales here, got several machines. There's no store, so you start off with absolutely everything. We have a Fendt 5270C combine harvester. We've got another combine harvester just over here, the 8350. With the headers in front of them ready to go. And I hope you like harvesting wheat, because that was the only crop that we could actually harvest without mods. This is totally unmodded. We have a mower, we have a plough, next to this we have the sprayer, and then there are two front weights. There's then the seed drill, the dozer blade or the snow plough. You couldn't actually plough snow, although there was a mod at some stage. I do remember a mod. I remember playing with the snow mod and it was pretty good fun. There is the forage wagon and also the big red trailer. Onto the tractors, we have two. The Fendt 936, that's our biggest tractor, and then we have the Fendt 716 Vario just here. And actually there is a Black Beauty one, 936, over at the ports, which we'll come on to in just a second. And then we have the small green trailer and the blue cultivator. So that's everything. Now for FS22. And like I said, we're not comparing features as such, but I do feel that if we didn't take a look at some of the machines, we would feel like we're missing something. So here we go, we're on the European map. Just very quickly show you some of the machines that we start with. It's also so you can see the environment and really get used to it. So first of all, we have the stair tracks just over here with the Welger trailer on the back. There is the combine harvester, the top line of Deutzfahr. There is the Massey Ferguson, the 3670. With the cultivator on the back, and the Valtra Valmet. So there we go, that was a nice little introduction to both the games. So as I said, everything that we can do in 08 we can do in 22 obviously. So we're going to do that. First of all, we're going to do some mowing. So I'm going to put this forage wagon on the back of the tractor, we'll put the mower on the front. We'll cut some grass and then put it into the silage pit. And then yeah, we're going to do the same thing on 22, and we'll repeat this process with all the different jobs that we can do. So I'm not going to chunter through all this, I want you to be able to hear all the game sounds and everything and really get immersed into both of them. Something which you might have already noticed is you can't just mow anywhere you like, you have to be in the designated grass areas. There are several places dotted around the map, but yeah, you couldn't just find any piece of grassland and go mowing it. So there we go, that is Farming Simulator 2008's grass mowing. Let's now do the same thing with similar machinery in FS22. I also wanted to just take this opportunity to really say that I love both of these two games. FS08 is very nostalgic to me. For anybody who has never seen Farming Simulator 2008 gameplay before, I can fully understand if you were to say that it looks bad. Of course, it is bland compared to FS22, but it's where everything began, and you could see the potential in the game, and it was the start of this series. And you can really see how far it's come. It is incredible. Okay, moving on, we have the combine harvesting. So yeah, we do have 2 combine harvesters, but you could not use a worker. There was no worker system. That first came in for FS09. So yeah, what we're going to have to do is just do a little strip as a demonstration, but I remember playing for absolutely hours, harvesting what felt like endless wheat fields, which is why it was so nice when the mods were integrated into the game. And I do remember it was a very heavily modded game at one stage, but I can't really find any traces of those mods anymore, which is a bit of a shame, because there were different crop types, and like I said before, you could even plough snow. So yeah, we are just going to do a bit of a test strip here. The first person view is a real eye-opener. You can see the interior pretty much just consists of a steering wheel and a joystick. When we get onto the FS22 interior, please do take note of it. Every now and then you might see a little red box flashing up on the screen, telling you to press key 2 to set the cruise control. With the combine harvester, if you did go too fast, it wouldn't harvest. With other tools like the plough or the cultivator, it would actually fall off the back of the tractor. So as you can see, I'm making use of the red trailer on the back of the Fendt 936. I'm going to take the harvested wheat over to the port, but you could also take it over to your grain silo in the main yard. I will demonstrate this later in the video. So here we go. And when you tip, same with when we did the grass earlier, it does lock the camera view. So we are stuck in this one position. And that is our wheat sold. You can see the money has registered down the bottom right hand side of the screen. So the next thing to do is to head over to Farming Simulator 22, harvest a bit of wheat as well, since wheat was the only option here, keep it fair. And I also wanted to point out at this stage that the reason why my steering in FS22 and 08 is a bit erratic is because I'm using the keyboard for both. I couldn't get my steering wheel to work with 08, even though 08 did have steering wheel compatibility, and for years I played with a steering wheel. So yeah, just to keep it fair to both, I'm using a mouse and keyboard on both versions. back to 08. So now we need to do a bit of ploughing, now the harvest is over. Just drop this trailer off in here. I'm actually going to use the 716, which was probably a mistake. The 936 was a much more capable tractor. So there is my demonstration of the ploughing in FS08. I apologise for my very wiggly line. It is much easier to plough with the steering wheel. So using a keyboard was obviously letting it down. Now 22. Still using a keyboard though. As I said before, there is more cultivation work to do, so let's get that blue cultivator put back onto the fence and we'll go over to where I did the ploughing. I'll make a very small cultivated area, but I'm actually going to make my own little field just next to the yard here so we can drill that, spray it and harvest it again later. Yeah, as I said, all the fields are already full of wheat, so there's not much area to do a drilling demonstration in this current field. Now luckily our starting cultivator in FS22 is very similar. In 08 though, there was no branding. There was the Fendt branding, but all of the implements seem to be just generic. And actually 08 seems to predate the Lizard name as well. I believe 2009 was the first time we had that. Okay, right, let's do a bit of drilling. So using the 716 again, we'll put the drill on the back. You don't have to fill it up or anything, it's just infinite. We're already set to wheat, of course. And now 22, filling up from some bags. Still going to be planting wheat though. As I said, this is a graphics comparison, not so much a feature comparison. The drilling is done, so now we must fertilise the crop. So once again in 08, you didn't have to fill up the spray or anything. It is infinite, just start spraying. And now we're doing a similar thing on 22, but of course the smallest sprayer is very large, but 22 does have the feature to allow you to reduce the working width, so that's what I'm going to have to do for my little demonstration strip. Now I'm going to show you the crop growth stages. In 08 I have to go into the options menu to change the timescale for the crop to grow faster. And you can see we have the first growth stage just here. I think the way that it was done in 08 is just to have the fully grown crop, but only lower. It's not quite as tall. In 22 here you can see we actually have the green growth, the fresh leaves. Back to 08, it's grown a bit more. As you can see, it's getting much taller. And it's not really golden like the fully ripened crop, so it was still easy to distinguish. Back to 22, the crop is growing a bit more. And now the crop is ready to harvest in FS08. Very golden, very vibrant. Sadly, when I rested at night, I think I missed a growth stage for 22, but you can still see the ripe crop. It looks very nice indeed. Okay, so let's very quickly just harvest this field, the field which I made myself, and we'll take it to our own grain silo. So, very similar to the newer versions of FS. Tip it in the pit at the farm, and you can spin round and you can go to the silo behind and you can refill your trailer and take it over to the port. The port was the only sell point on this map. I just found the game's PDF manual. It was in the installation files, and in there it actually has a specific detail saying that it is 70 cents per litre of fuel. I love stuff like that, it's just the small things that count. And also we have the farm calculator, so you can keep track of all the finances and all of the other pieces of information. We have one more implement to use, the dozer blade. I don't think we can really call it a snowplow, since although it was a mod, yeah, there was no snow in this game. So yeah, you could use it to push stuff around, which was good fun. It was also handy for freeing stuck machinery. But also there was a mission where you could clear the road. Chaos on the roads. There were logs everywhere, and the faster you could clear the road, the better score you'd get. So you'd get either gold, silver, or bronze. Let's see how we do. I have to do this in less than 2 minutes to get gold. Back in 2008 when this game was first released, there was a demo version, and I can remember there were 2 different missions that we could do. There was a threshing one and this one, and I used to just play it continuously on repeat and try and explore the map. It was great fun. Oh, and look at that. I got gold. 1 minute 25. So there was another mission which was all about a storm approaching. You had to get the crops in, and you can see it's different sky. Very dramatic. There were 3 different weather types in this game. Sunshine, rain, and hail. So there you go. It is nice to see there was more than just one type of sky. FS22 does also have the dozer blades, but yeah, they really are snowplows. So you can push snow around. Or you could just push around random objects or logs. And now for the Fent Black Beauty. This is over at the port. Again, it was a free tractor, everything was free. It was just great fun to have. So I'm going to use this to do a bit of a tour of the map, a very quick tour. Show you some of the highlights. So first of all we have the village at the top here. And this was actually the same map as 2009, but it was overhauled. So they expanded it. But I've always loved it. The map is called Giant's Island. Here is another grass field. So this was actually one of the biggest grass fields, I think. I seem to remember spending a long time here with a Crone mod, a self-propelled Crone mower. Okay, this was always funny. You can see the project date, completion, spring 2009, so it was relevant. This game came out in April 2008, and this bridge connects the island to the mainland, but it's not finished. And you can drive off the end. Hilarious. I did that so many times. Dear. I've lost my tractor, but luckily it is still possible to reset it, but you do have to reset all the vehicles. You can see there is a button, reset vehicles. So you do that, go back in the game, and everything is as it was at the start. Very handy feature. Okay, let's continue the tour. This time I won't lose my tractor. So I'm now over the other side of the map, and there were 2 fields here which were full of rocks. I remember trying to harvest them so many times, but you couldn't see the rocks when you were close up. Entertaining stuff. Anyway, yeah, this area was really expanded on in the 2009 version, but there was a chapel here. So even in this game, there was a few different places of interest to go to, which was just really nice and fun. If you didn't want to do farming, just explore. Okay, so that concludes 2008. Now to 2022, just very quickly, we have the Fent Black Beauty again. And obviously, the 22 map is absolutely packed full of details, places of interest, and loads of different places just to explore. You really are free to do what you want. So you can clearly see how the graphics have changed. So there we go, I really just wanted to show you how far this game has come from the beginning to where we are now, and of course the future is looking very bright. I do get a few comments every now and then saying that not much has changed since the previous version, but really, if not much has changed between each version, how did we get from 08 to where we are now? So there we go, a really nice fun video. Love doing these comparisons, and 08 is still, in my mind, a fantastic game. I love it, and it's so nostalgic, and it just goes to show where it all began. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye for now.